I have some other questions that are not about labor issues, more personal questions, if you don't mind. You open to anything?
Let's get personal.
Okay. What's it like to be the leader of the most powerful union in the country?
It's the greatest job in the world.
Is it?
I'm
Tell me why.
Well, I worked very hard to get this job. I ran in 1996. They stole the election from me. We proved they stole the election from me. It was a government-run election that was stolen from me. And then we turned it around and had a rerun in 1998. I won that and was certified. And I took office in March of 1999. And we have completely turned this union around. We're growing. We're dynamic. We think we're the leader of the labor movement. We're very proud of it.
Do you ever give up hope that your father's body will be found and that we'll all one day know exactly what happened to him? I know there's a lot of theories about it,
I know
but...
that. Well, I to tell you the truth, I hope that we find his body. I hope we find out what happened. But I used to think that we would find out. And as the years go on, as more and more people die off, the people that were involved, the people that did it, I mean, they're almost all dead or gone. It's been 33 years. So the people that were involved are mostly dead. I always thought there would be an informant come forward or something like that, and it hasn't happened. And so my hope for solving the crime, diminishes every day. As the years go on, I think the likelihood is less likely. There's a lot of theories out there. I do have great memories of him. I have a picture of him in my office. I have a picture of him. We have this room in our union hall, and he's very revered in the union. I met a guy yesterday that had Jimmy Hoffa tattooed on his arm. This is great.
Do you have a theory as to what happened?
Well, I think it was involved with regard to him coming back in the union, and he was pushing very, very hard, and I think Frank Fitzsimmons and the underworld got together and had him killed because he was really an unstoppable force. And, of course, he was hampered. There was an anticipation that he would win his court case because when Nixon gave him his commutation, he put a condition on it, with Chuck Colson and all those people in the White House at that time. And they put a condition that he couldn't be in union affairs. And when my dad signed the commutation, he didn't know about that. So he had a lawsuit pending that he would hopefully win. And the word was, everybody thought he was going to win it. And he was a threat to Fitzsimmons. And Fitzsimmons, didn't want him back, and they were, went on and on and on. So I think it was directly related to his coming back to the Teamsters.
How has it affected your life, though? I mean, I can't even imagine what that must be like. It's bad enough to lose a parent, first of all, and then to not know exactly what happened, to have your own suspicions and so forth. How does that affect your life? How's it shaped you as a person?
Well, obviously it was, obviously it happened in 1975, July 30, 1975, and it was the most traumatic thing, and it was basically very tough. But I had my family, and my mother died in 1980, and all because so I always say she died of a broken heart. And yes, you carry on. My sister and I are very strong. We have good memories of him, and you really have to carry on. So in some ways, being president of the Teamsters, we're carrying on his work. I revere his memory, but I will tell you this, it's such a disturbing part of my life, I really don't think about it. Because it's not good for me to think about it. It's that disturbing.
Did you ever meet Robert Blake?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I met Robert Blake.
That's a memory I have of that movie, of your father.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
the other movie, Hoffa.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson. I met Jack Nicholson, and he was even better in the Hoffa.
Okay,
that's right. Yeah.
When he filmed in Detroit, they filmed some of that in Pittsburgh. Some of that movie was in Pittsburgh, and he was telling me my dad worked at Kroger, and a lot of that thing, those dock scenes were at Kroger, and he went to the Kroger people in Pittsburgh, and they wanted to use their name. And he said, and they wouldn't let him do it. He said, I can't believe those people. We want to give them all this publicity. So if you look at that movie, they called it Krieger. They couldn't call it. When you walk in, they had this old-fashioned thing that said Krieger. But they wouldn't let him use the word Kroger. But they filmed a lot of it in Detroit, and I had a chance to meet with him, Danny DeVito, And they were very, very charming and very nice. And since that time, I've met Jack Nicholson several times, on other movies. A lot of the sets are Teamsters. He was filming in New York. We were campaigning a couple years ago, and I went over there and met with him, and he was very gracious and a very nice man.